Hi, my name is Manny Peng. In this video, I will show you how to deploy a Trellix lighting server for a site with both WaveLinx Wireless and WaveLinx Wire installed. Next is the floor map. How do we set up floor map? Actually, this is kind of optional because some of the customer site don't need to see the floor map. But for the one that require to see the floor map, this is how we set it up. Okay, so we have to log into the lighting application, select the site tab here. Okay, you can select the building and then select the floor that we want to set up the site map floor for. After that, we have to click on the setup map button. Okay, so as you can see, by default, all the areas that have been imported will show as a broken chain there, because it means that all of these areas have not been linked to any floor plan yet. That's why you see a broken link there. Okay, that's a broken link symbol. Okay, so we have to click on Open Image Setting, and then we have to select whether it is going to be just background image only or background and DXF. Okay, so in this example, in this setup that I'm showing you, this is specifically for lighting control application. Okay, now for the purpose of lighting control application, you don't need to have the DXF file. We'll talk about the reason why we need the DXF file later. Okay, just for lighting control, we just need a background image. So select the background image. Now, this background image here can be in any of the format, .png, .jpeg, or .svg file. As long as the file size for each of these floor map is 1 megabyte or smaller, it should be fine. Okay. So we have to select, click on the select button, go to the location where the floor map is saved, click on open, and then click on the apply button. Okay, the image scale here, it doesn't matter because we're not using DXF. It will come into play later. It will become critical later if we're dealing with the Trellix locale application. Okay, just for lighting control, we can ignore this image scale for now. Okay, so now we can click on apply, and then it's going to take you to the floor plan that got imported. Okay, that's my floor plan. Next, I have to click on the exit setting button. Then click on this little double arrow here to start drawing areas or zone. Okay. As I mentioned before, all this area is showing unlinked symbol because they haven't been drawn onto the floor map yet. That's why it's showing unlinked symbol. Okay. Now, I have to select an area so that I can start drawing it on the floor plan. So as soon as I click on the select the area, you see that the draw button is available. Okay, so I have to click on the draw button, and then I have to click on the location on the floor map to start drawing. So if I click here, by default, I'm going to see a square box with 4 corners showing up. So click on it, and then I can zoom into the area or scroll the mouse upward if I want to zoom in, right? I can just zoom in by just scroll the mouse or zoom out using the scroll wheel on the mouse. Now that I zoom in, I can move the corner. You see the 4 corner here. If I move this over, right, it's going to create actually. I can now start drawing space for that particular area. Okay, so as you can see, I click on this original point and move it over. And as soon as I do that, it actually creates another midpoint between these 2 points for me. And the same thing here. It actually creates this midpoint for me here, which allow me to draw more shape if I need to. Okay. So I can continue dragging this point on on each corner to fill out the shape of my area that I'm controlling for that particular daylight area. Okay, so if I drag it over, now I can see that my area is done. And notice that I have the midpoint here as well, because I just dragged the mouse over, I created midpoint, which allow me to, if I drag this point down, it actually allow me to draw more shape, because as soon as I do that, it's going to be the midpoint here and there. And the same thing, another midpoint here between this point and that point. Okay. If I'm happy with the area that I have drawn, I have to click on the Save button. Okay. If I want to draw the zone in this area, I just need to click Zone under the selected area to see all the zone that is available. Okay. So see under the daylight area here, I have devices and zone under the hierarchy of this area, right? So I click on this zone. Here I have only one zone for this daylight area. Right now it shows it also as unlinked because I haven't drawn a zone on the floor map yet, right? And to draw the zone, I actually just select the zone and click on the draw button again, and draw the same way that I have drawn the area. The procedure is exactly identical. Okay. After I finish drawing, then I can just click on the Save button to draw it. Just to keep in mind, some site doesn't require you to draw the zone at all. I can see that most of the site will require to see the area and the devices on the floor plan. But zone is just there, but it's not required. All right. Then yeah, after you finish drawing the zone, assuming that that is required, then you can click on the Save button here to finish drawing the zone. What happens if I want to lay out devices on a floor map? How do I do that? Well, under this area daylight here, remember we have devices and zone. I need to click on devices in order to expand it, right? In this area, I have two devices. Again, it shows as unlinked because it has not been linked to the floor plan yet. So I need to select the device in order to put it on the floor map. Okay, select the device, and then click on the Draw button, and then I need to lay my mouse, point my mouse somewhere on the floor plan, assuming that is the location where I want to lay out my device. Point my mouse here and then click the mouse. Now the device is shown on the floor map. Okay. Now to position the device correctly on the floor map, you can click to select it on the floor map. As you can see here, I click it, and then after I click on the floor map, this device detail panel show up. Okay. And in order for me to pinpoint it exactly, I can use the button here, this say blink to identify, to locate it in the field. Okay, so if I click on this blink to identify, the actual device itself, the fixture, will start blinking in the field, and that will allow me to modify the location of this device on the floor map based on where it is blinking in the field. Okay, so I can adjust the position, and after I adjust it to the right position, then I can move on to the next device and follow the same procedure again. Select the device, put it on the floor map, click on the floor map to put it there, then select on it again to bring the device detail page, do the blinking again, and then from there I can just click on the device and adjust its position. Okay, so I have to do this over and over again for every device in the area that I have selected. Okay, after all devices have been selected, have been laid out on the floor plan, I can click on the Save button to save the position of all devices on the floor plan. So basically, I have to go through the same procedure, right? Step 23 to 29. If I want to lay out the devices for all the areas. So for each area, I have to repeat the same step over and over again until I finish. Next, I need to push this data to the controller after the entire floor map is set up. Okay, it's very important. Even though sometimes if you don't see the red banner showing up, you need to go to the device page, go to manage controller to push the location data with the floor plan and everything. You have to push it to the controller. So far we are done talking about setting up floor plan for lighting control application. What happens if you want to set up floor plan for real-time location system, which is for the Trellix locate application? Okay, how do we do that? In order to do that, we need to have the DXF file to achieve the room level accuracy. Okay, it's very, very important to have proper DXF file to be imported into the floor plan. Without DXF file, you will not have room level accuracy. Okay, so we need to follow this step here in order to set up the floor plan properly. We go to again, we have to be in the Trellix lighting application. Click on the Site tab. Then go through the same step again. Select the building, select the floor, right? And then click on Setup Map. Click on the Open Image setting again. And right now for this scenario for RTLS system, you need to select background and DXF. Okay, so you have to select that. After you select background and DXF, you have two select button here. One select button for importing the SVG file, and another select button for DXF file. Okay, so preferably you want to select the SVG file for a better image in the background, right? Select the file, select based on the location you save it, and then click on the select button here to select the DXF file, open it up, then click on the next button to continue. Now it's important to enter the image scale, and that image scale is in the number of pixels per foot or per meter. Okay, in order to get this number, you have to talk to the person who created the DXF file. You need to find out what is the image scale that he or she is using to set up this drawing. It's very, very important, because if the scale is off, then the location, the accuracy of your floor plan is going to be off. Okay, and remember, for RTLS system or Trellix locale application, room level accuracy is very important to achieve. Okay, if the image scale is wrong, then you will get the wrong room level accuracy. So assuming that the image scale is 12 pixels per foot, then you have to enter that number here, and then click on the next button to continue. And these are the blocks. After you click on continue, these are the fixtures block that have been created on the DXF file. Okay, these are the block name depending on how the person who created DXF file named them. Here the person give the name 2x4 fixtures and 2x2 fixtures. Okay, it could be something else. It could be a different name by fixture type, maybe F1 fixture, F2 fixture, and so on. Okay, here this is just an example. Right, so we have to select the blocks that represent each fixtures. We have to select them in order to import it onto the floor plan. Okay, so put the check mark beside each box in order to import it, and then click on the apply button. Okay, once we selected all those blocks, you can see that they are actually shown up on the floor plan there. You can see these are the gray box that represent the 2x2 fixtures and 2x4 fixtures. Okay, this block has already been laid out on the DXF file for you. So with DXF file ready, it makes the layout of all devices a lot easier. Okay, you don't need to do much manual work. At this point, you need to click on Exit Setting, and then you have to click on this double arrow here to start linking devices. Okay. So first, you need to select the area that you want to link the devices to, and then select you have to open up, click on the device under the area to expand it, and then you have to select the individual device, and then make sure you click on this double arrow here to expand the device detail page. You can click on the blink to identify to make sure that you actually linking the right device in the field, link them to the right block on the floor plan. Okay, so click on the blink to identify. Once you know once you see it's blinking, then you have to once you see it's blinking, you should now know which one it is, assuming that is the room that area is in, the daylight area is in. Then once the device is blinking and you see that that's the mirror fixtures, then you have to click on that mirror fixtures. Notice that when you click on it, the device will change from like light gray to darker gray, right? Now you have to, after you click on it, you notice that the link button is available, right? So you have to click on the link button, and you should see that the link button is, after you link it, you should see the box is shown from gray to blue to indicate that the device has now been linked onto the DXF block on the floor plan. Now, what if there are some devices that don't have the matching DXF block name on it? Let's say we have a ceiling sensor, and if the person who created the DXF file forgot to lay out the block for ceiling sensor, how can we lay it out on the floor plan? But it's not the end of the world, because you can still manually lay out a fixture, lay out the device on the floor plan, following the exact same procedure that we've done before when we set up floor plan for Trellix sliding control. Okay, so we just need to click on the device, click on the draw button, then click on the floor plan to put it there. Okay. And now, in order to continue linking the rest of the devices, we can follow through the same step again between step 19 to 24 to continue linking devices, one device at a time to the DXF block. And if we need to lay out the device manually, then we just need to repeat step number 24 there for those devices that don't have DXF block on the floor plan. Okay, so that's the procedure that we have to follow when we setting up floor plan for Trellix lighting application. Okay, after all devices have been selected, have been laid out on the floor plan, make sure you click on the save button. And to link or lay out devices in other areas, we just need to repeat the same step by going and selecting each area, and repeat the same step that we just talked about for all the devices in each of those areas. Okay. After all the devices have been laid out on the floor plan, remember to push data to controller after the entire floor map setup is finished. What happens if we have a WaveLinx wire system? How are we going to draw the area on the floor plan? Well, something that you need to know is that when you have a WaveLinx wire system, all of its area will get automatically assigned to the default building and default floor when the EG2S data is imported into Trellix. Very important to remember that. Okay, so let's say that when I set up this building, Cooper building, when I set up the floor plan here at the beginning, right? My default building is Cooper building, and default floor is floor 1. Okay, so these are my default building and default floor. What happens is that when you import all the areas from EG2S into Trellix. All those areas will go to floor 1 because floor 1 is my default floor. If you want to associate one WaveLinx wire area to a floor, this is how you do it. Okay, you have to select the area from the default floor. You have to select the area from this default floor here, as you can see. Select it. Then you have to select the edit button on the right hand side. Next, you have to select the button that says location edit. Okay, click on it. Then you have to specify the desired building and the desired floor where you want to associate that area to. Okay. Once you select the proper building and floor, then you can click on the save button. And then you can click on the back arrow here to go back to see, to make sure that it's going to the right floor. So once I click on back, it's actually taking me to the new floor, the non-default floor where area 11 is assigned to. Okay. Now, what happens if I have multiple areas on WaveLinx wire system that I want to associate them all together? I want to associate them all at the same time to a particular floor. How do I do that? First, I need to make sure that I have to go back to the default floor, right? Remember, my floor 1 is the default floor, so I just need to switch from floor 3, switch to floor 1. Okay, so I click on this drop-down menu here to go back to the default floor 1. Once I'm there, I had to click on this button here. It's called bulk assign. Okay. Once I do that, it's allowed me to select all the areas that have been imported through WaveLinx Wire and assign it to whichever floor that I want to assign it to, all in one shot. Okay. So how do we do that? Select all the area by putting a checkbox to all of them, assuming that these are the specific area that I want to link it to, right? I could click on this button here to select all the area, or I can pick and choose which area belong to what floor and pick which area belong to another floor. Let's say you have multiple floor and they all each floor have X number of areas, then I have to carefully select which area belong to which floor. Okay. Now after I selected the right area, then I have to go and select the right building and the right floor that I want to assign these areas to. Then click on the assign button. Okay. So here I select the desired building, the desired floor, click on the assign button. Then I have to click on the selection here. I have to click on the floor number 3 because that's where I assign the areas to. I have to click on floor number 3 to confirm that those areas get assigned to, just to make sure that the correct area get assigned to the right floor.